everyone, it's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet. Today is, I'm trying to get a better light, I don't know. Today is Thursday, April 23rd, 2020. This is Charm Chatter number 46. I have one new whip, or no, two new whips, maybe three. And a finished object. That's what it is. So what I'm wearing is the finished object, and I did make a peekaboo, so we're going to talk about that. So let's get on with it. Oh, no, losing stuff. I do want to thank all of my subscribers for subscribing and coming back. Anybody that's new, thanks for being here. Glad to have you. This is my yarn room. I videotape in here most of the time. Sadly, I do not crochet in here. I know, right? You think I would, but I don't. It's I like to be downstairs with my husband. So I do have to oh, excuse me, just finished lunch. Let's see, I have the Easy cardigan from Two Lacy Hexagons by Craving Crochet. Oh, excuse me, she did that yarn challenge with Darla, or that crochet challenge with Darla, the crafty yarn owl, and oh, there was another one. I can't think of her name right now. It'll come to me when I remember. I'll let you know. I can picture her and everything. Lisa loves crochet or something. Lisa, she's a crazy gal too. That one. I'll link their channels. Excuse me. Anyway, so let me show you my cardigan. Now I'm gonna use this as a beach cover up, and I made it with comfy cotton and Flicka, which I'm telling you, I believe they are the same thing. They're both made by Lion Brand. These are the two. I mean, seriously, they're both 50 cotton, 50 acrylic. They're both 3-weight, or I think 4-weight, 3-weight, and they're the same damn color, even though this one is called Keepsake and this one is called Chai Latte. This one in the cake form has a lot more yardage, 358 yards. The Flicka is sold, it's sold under the name Flicka if you buy it from Hobby Lobby, and if you buy it from Michael's, and it has 196 meters or yards. This is like double, almost. If you buy it at Lion Brand, they call it Comfy Cotton. I don't know that I've seen Flicka on their website. And if you buy it at Michael's, I mean at Walmart, it's called Comfy Cotton. But I do believe it is the exact same thing, same yarns. So I had, I think, 3 or 4 of these, maybe 4. And this is what's left of the 3 or 4 to do half of the cardigan. And this is what's left of 2 to do the other half of the cardigan. I had started something and I didn't like it. So, oh, sorry about that. I forgot to turn the volume down on my phone. So I was going to make something else, and I started it, and I just didn't like the way, I couldn't make the pattern work. It wasn't, I didn't like it, so I frogged it, and so now I don't know really how many I started with of these, because I recaked them up after I frogged whatever I was using. Okay, enough said with that. So now the cardigan. The cardigan is wonderful. If you haven't made it, it's fast. It's so simple because you make it all in one piece. I like my cardigans long. I'm heavy and I like to cover it all up. So I like them long, but I did not want long sleeves. I wanted a 3/4 length sleeve. So I had this brilliant idea that it's a hexagon, 6 sides. So I'm going to do 5 sides. Or I'm going to do all 6 sides until the sleeve is long enough. And then I'm only going to do 5 of the sides. And the sleeve, because you fold it in, you know, how you fold that to make it half of your cardigan. All of a sudden it looks like an L, and one of the is your sleeve. So that's what I decided to do because I've never done this before, so I don't have any clue. So that's what I did. And then I just went around 5 sides, and when I got to, I had stitch markers in the 2 corners of the, where the sleeve was not going to get any longer. So stitch marker, crochet around to the stitch marker, turn it, crochet back, turn it, crochet back, until it was wide enough to very easily go all the way around and be as long as I wanted it to be. And I figured if I want it to be longer, I can crochet more at the end. So it's a great idea, and it actually turned out really well. Not the plan I had in mind. And the yarn in this fishnet, like, you know, really stretches, really lengthens. So it's longer than what I wanted it to be for just a cardigan, but I love it for a cardigan. But it also will work as a beach wrap for me, a beach cover up, because it's big enough and it's long enough. So I think in the pattern she says to stop at like 20. She stopped at 22 or 23 rows. And I think that's where I ended my sleeve, in that area. And when I held it up, it was like this long. It did grow. It grew wider. It grew a lot. I have a problem with this when I'm trying to make clothing. Stuff grows more than what I expect it to grow. And that's not the patterns. That's all me. But in this case, it's fine. So what happened was, when I go around and then I come back and I put it together, all of a sudden my sleeve, let me see if I can make you see this. I'll take it off and show you if you can't. I'll take it off in a minute. All of a sudden my sleeve has come to this, well, I'll show you. It has come to a point. Now, I love that it comes to a point, and that was not the point. No pun intended. And if it was like a couple of seasons or clothing seasons earlier, I could do the whole little put it in your thing. I love it like this, and I'll show you how big it is. See if I can get back far enough so you can see the bottom. On my tippy toes. Oh, you might get the bottom. So it grew bigger than what I anticipated, but that's fine because I can wrap it around if I want. It's long enough that it will cover the little skirt on my bathing suits. I always wear a skirt, and it does kind of come down to a little bit of a point in the front as well. You can't tell that. So this is the plan. I made the little peekaboo thing because I thought that was awesome and it would be nice with my bathing suit. And then I put a button on it, as you can see, so that if I don't want the long sleeve and it's in the way, I can just do this and pin it up. And if it's still kind of like in the way, I can like roll it a little bit more. So if it's hotter than, so it turned out to be best because this way I can cover up more, because I do have that, you know, skin problem where I don't have any pigmentation left mostly in my arms and hands. So being able to cover up is a great thing, and then yet still being free and loose is also a great thing. So this is the back. It's got that little design in there, you know, from the Hexagon. And the length, it does come on, because, you know, part of it is because it's so stretchy. Like the very bottom here isn't stretching out at all. Like it needs to. Of course, I'm not blocking it because it's a beach cardigan. So it's going to get wet. That's the whole idea. But yet, I can wear it just like this. But if I want to go to the beach, I can wear it. If I want to cover up more, because it's, you know, the fishnet, I can. I can put, if I want, another, you know, so I can close it but I don't think I will because it'll stay closed by itself, I think, if I pull it. So this is, oops. Now also, and I'll take it off to show you this, but I love it with the sleeves put up too. I think it looks really cute, like a whole different, and like I said, that was totally 100% unplanned. So if I were to make it again, and I want the shorter sleeves, I've learned now the way to correctly do this. So you make this two big huge hexagons, and you fold them, and I'll show you that here. Let me take it off and show you what I'm talking about. Oh, let me unbutton so you can see the full shape when I get it off. Okay, so you put the hexagons together, and half of it is going to, like, you fold them in half and you get this type of shape, and then you fold the other one in half and get that same type of shape, and then you sew them down the center. So just like on the Darla, the tank top that Darla did, I did not whip stitch. I just used, and you really can't see where, except right here. This is the telltale, where this is one hexagon and this is the other hexagon, and this is where I seamed them together, which did add some, you know, inches here. And I did the same on the sleeve. So like the sleeve was sewn together at the top. So this is where I sewed the sleeve together. The stitch pattern is a chain 4 for the, you know, chain 4 single crochet, chain 4 single crochet. So I changed when I sewed it together. I started at one end and I kind of fudged it so it would fit together right, and then I chained 2 single crochet, go to the other way, chain 2 single crochet, go the other way, chain 2 single crochet. So I matched the pattern, and literally I could not tell you if I didn't, actually I think I sewed it together, I don't know. No, there's the center. Yeah, I sewed it together at the top because that's where, so then I'm sewing up the sleeve, and you get to, and Darla, she tells you in the pattern, you know, if you want to leave the peekaboo, you can, and how to do that. So I just left that and then started my join, you know, after. And I actually crocheted, I slip stitched in the one side of the peekaboo to get up to just be able to continue to single crochet, you know, do the single crochet and chain thing. So then the bottom does come to a point. It's very long. There we go. On me it comes about mid-thigh. So, you know, it covers everything I need it to cover. It's warm enough that on a, you know, 50-degree day I could wear it as a sweater, and at the pool, at the beach, I can wear it as a beach cover-up. Totally love it. Easy pattern, very brainless. Even sewing it together was very simple. Oh, so I was going to tell you, if I was going to make it again, and I don't want it to be this big, I have a problem with my width. My width is a little big. My height is a little short. And my arms, therefore, I'm not a tall person, so my arms aren't real long. And I would really like to make it again and make the arms shorter. But because now I know it's so easy to put together, I would make it smaller. Altogether smaller. Just big enough for my sleeves to be where I want the sleeves to be. And then sew it together so that now it's cardigan, and then just go around where I need more width or more length. I think that's what I would do. Maybe I would definitely sew the sleeves together And I might have to sew the sleeves together, and because you need the width across the back as well as the front, so depending on how that is. But then you can just, it doesn't matter that you were like in the round going one way, and then when you start to go back and forth, you can't see the stitch difference. Like a front and back of a stitch, you can't tell. So at least not with this yarn, you can't. The yarn worked out wonderful. I love this yarn. So that is the finished Hexi Cardi. I think I talked more about it. I talked longer about it than it took me to actually make it. No, not true. I mean, I did go through a lot of yarn. But that is that. So then I finished Chloe's thing, and I think they'll be over this weekend, and I'll probably show you what she looks like in it. Then, let's see. So I've been having this issue. I don't know. Do you guys have this issue ever? I have like 9,000 patterns that I really love. I have beautiful yarn. I'm like, oh, I really want to put this yarn with this pattern. So I start a project, and I'm like, oh, I hate that. I don't like the yarn in the pattern. I have not had that problem until like this last month. I've showed you these summer nights. I have 3 of these, and I wanted to make myself a beach cover up out of these. And I started, and I frogged 2 different patterns. So then I started, and I showed you this. I started this other one. I haven't worked on it again, because I'm not real thrilled with it. So I'm probably going to frog it. And Amanda tells me I should use this. Oh, I was going to wear it this way. I just think this pattern and this yarn, this bright yarn, for me, a beach cover up, I think I need light, not all this color. It's going to be way too much color to go around me. Way too much bright color, I think. Just going to like be too much. So I think I'll probably frog it again, and I'm going to use this to make a beach cover up. I have 3 of these, so it'll be plenty. Along with, because it takes forever to use this, so let me just get up for 1 second. I love this cotton cakes. So I think I'm going to put this with a cotton cake. I have this color, and I have a pink. So one for Ari, one for Avery, along with this thread. I might have to double the thread, and then it's going to be big. I don't know. Again, I'll probably start it and pull it out 4 or 5 times. That's the problem I've been having with this yarn. And I did that with the Flicka too. Like several tries, and I can't seem to get it right. It was very aggravating, and I was like, I don't even want to crochet. It was like killing my Crojo, even though I was working on really cool things, because I loved the cardigan here, and at the same time I was working on Chloe's top, the Darla top, and I totally loved making those. It was fun, and they turned out great. But at the same time, I have this at the back of my mind all the time, and I'm like, I want to make something out of this yarn. I've had it for a long time, like all winter, and I'm like, I got to make something really pretty, and I just can't find the right. And and it's aggravating me. So there's that little rant. So that being said, I also have in the little yarn basket Roy made me. Again, I'm going to rant for a second, but I have this. Now this is also Summer Nights. This color is called Ocean Cove, and it is pastels and beautiful, and I am in love with it. This other one is called Passion Fruit. It's also the Summer Nights. So I just totally love this, and it's in the yarn ball, you know, in the band. Oh, no. Oh, this yarn. So I go to pull it out, and I get this. I could not get it to come out. I mean, I fought and fought and fought. So what happened, I'm being said it today. So what happened was both ends came out together and they're in a big, huge knot. So I have the working end and and as I'm pulling it out, all of this, including, I rolled it up on a spool because it's such a fine yarn like thread. So I rolled it up in a spool, and as I'm working on it, they're both coming out. It's coming out both ends. I mean, it must have a stomach flu. I don't know, because it barfed big time. And this is what I'm getting. And I only have one skein, so I have to use this one skein because this yarn is gorgeous. So I have very nicely stuck it in this yarn bag, and I keep this, so I have the yarn in there, and then I have the little spool of yarn in next to it, and when it gets all tangled really bad, then I wind up, I play with it, get it untangled, and wind it up around the spool. And literally it took me over an hour to unknot some of that, like a big part of it, to get it separated. Once it took me a lot, I'm like, the yarn won't pull, it keeps knotting, I can't figure out. And I have this big mop, I mean, it looked like this. I pulled it out and this is what it looked like. And I found an end, and I'm still, okay, here's the end. And you know, you think that big blob will eventually work down, but it kept knotting and knotting, and at some point then I see the other end, and I'm like, oh shit, well, that's the problem. So anyway, enough of that rant. So I decided, I have always loved the lover's knot or Solomon's knot, whatever you want to call it, and I've always been afraid to make anything with it because I thought the stitch looked confusing. I watched a video on it when I was, I think from Natasha, when I was first learning to crochet, and I'm like, oh, that's complicated. And it's not really that it's complicated, but as a newbie, it was like an overwhelming stitch. How do you know how much yarn? And anyway, so I have always wanted to make something out of it, and so I decided that I would make this. It's not done, it's only this long, but this will be a little like tank kind of top. The yarn's getting stuck again. And I'm working it from the bottom up, and I'm just gonna get to here and not go that I'm gonna just like make it a pullover, and then I'll have to crochet the sides together like so. So this is what it's going to look like. This is the idea of it. And I looked at Solomon's Knot Top by Naughty Crochet. I will link her video. She's like a 5-minute video on how she made this, and she tells you how to do the lover's knot, but she does not do a tutorial on how she did hers. But she did hers in two separate shirts or panels. I'm not going to do that, I don't think, because the way you can work this knot, if you've never worked it, it is like so cool. It's the actual stitch is a chain with a long loop. You make this loop, and then you do a single crochet, and then you make a loop, and you do a single crochet. And then where you put the next loop single crochet is how you make the pattern. So when it gets long enough, and I want this to have like a lot of that, and it stretches like that other stitch stretched, this stitch stretches, oh goodness, like a lot. So when I get it up tall enough, then, and I want it to drape like a couple of rows so that it's like that, then I will just do a row of loops and not attach them and start the back. like it really won't. So when I'm doing this, you make your loop, and then I'm skipping 2, and then I'm going into every other knot here. And that gives you like the flowery kind of look to it. So I will just like chain, you make a chain of loops, basically, to start with. And so that's what I'll do, just like a chain on any other like keyhole kind of thing. And this yarn is so fine and so lightweight. I had to put stitch markers in the bottom so that I would know, so that it would weigh it down a little bit so I could tell where I was crocheting at because it was real easy to get lost in it. So anyway, I'm totally loving this project, and it's like wide, but it doesn't, I mean, I made it wide because it's gonna shrink up when I, attach just a couple of there and make it do like I want it to do. And then just wear a little cami or tank underneath. Adorable, right? And I'm sure I will have plenty of yarn if I can ever get it to completely unknot. So this is a fine number 1, and I am using on this a 3.5 millimeter hook. And it's turning out great. But the yarn is so fine, it does make me go cross-eyed. So I have to like only work on it for a little at a time. And then I started, and this is, I found the tutorial on YouTube. And oh goodness, it's from Heart Hook Home. And she does the tutorial for a child size. You have to buy the pattern if you want the large size, but if you watch the tutorial and you're really not a pattern reader, you can, so I practiced on the child size, and without realizing, because she said the first several rows would be the same child and adult size. So I watched the video and I started on it, and you have to really watch your stitch count. And then if you need, like the first 7 rows are fine up to a large. Well, I need bigger. I need an extra large. So I had to rip it out, and I bought the pattern. I was going to buy the pattern anyway. But because I watched the video and knew the stitches, it made it easy to follow the written pattern up until I'm at this point. Actually, the tutorial, the online, so up to this point, which is 7 rows in the child's pattern, and this is like row 22 in my size pattern. You put sleeves in on this. It's going to be a big, huge, like 46 row shawl. She said hers was 46 rows for the child. Maybe that was the adult. I don't know. Anyway, like at this point, this is obviously, it goes across your back, but now the next step is we're going to put sleeve holes. So it's a shawl with sleeves, so you can add the sleeves or not add the sleeves. I am undecided if I want to add the sleeves or not. I'm thinking for summer I don't want sleeves, but it gets cool sometimes after the sun goes down, and I think I love it. The stitch pattern is not hard, but you do have to count your stitches because it's easy to miss one. The yarn is working up beautifully. I'm starting the second of the pattern, of the yarn pattern, and this is DK Colors in the color, I think it's called Tea Rose, Rose Garden. And then this gets fringe at the end. And so as I said, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to put the sleeves on or just leave holes. And so I think the next row or 2 is where we start to put for your arms. And then this part doesn't really like close up here. It comes more down like here, so it's open collar. And I'm loving it so far. And I think I have enough yarn, so I'm excited about that as well. It's always good when you have enough yarn. And I just totally love the colors of this, and this is turning out really good. So this is called, it's Shawl Good Cardigan. Shawl, like S-H-A-W-L. And so I'm loving that. And that is my new, oh, and I'm doing that with, which dropped on the floor, a 6mm hook. And it did meet gauge. Yay! Because you go 7 rows in before you check the gauge, or 5 rows or something, I don't know. Anyway, so my plan now, I think, is that I want to make that same child size shawl as what I want to make for the girls out of this, and like one out of this and one with the pink for my 2 littles. I think I'm just not sure how the fine thread, if the color will show up against the thicker. What do you think? 2 strands, 1 strand? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Because I don't know what else to do with this yarn. And I think it's beautiful, and Amanda keeps telling me, make something for the littles, make something for the littles. So I think she's right. I think my littles need that yarn. And I'm going to use the more pastel colors for me. Then I'm going to make a beach cover-up for Amanda, I believe. And I think we have a pattern picked out. I can't remember. I don't know if she knows what yarn she wants. We went yarn shopping, and she wanted like a cotton, so that it, you know, so she's looking at kitchen cotton, and I'm like, you really don't want that. She says, I know that's what you're going to say. And so then I showed her some Cotton Fair number 2 weight yarn, but I only have it in colors, and nothing, and she usually likes just plain, but she does like the Americana ones. So I think we're going to do it in the Americanas for her. I don't know. I ordered more of it. It was on sale. They were doing a flash sale, so I ordered more, so that makes sure I have enough. She wants a long beach cover up, but holey and lacy. That's the word. So I got that, and I'm going to Joann's when I leave here. When I'm done with this video, off to Joann's. They have NACO yarn on sale for $1.50. Regular $4.99, on sale for $1.50. It looks like a roving, like this stuff over here, like this. This is like what it looks like in the paper, that it would be like this, but it's solid colors. So I'm loving that idea. I have a lot of these in different colors. And I got these, I'm looking at I have a lot of these, but I think I have them in all different colors, and there's these, and then there's the, Lion Brand has a similar, and, these are similar, similar kind of yarn, so I'd like to get some solid colors to go with the variegateds that I have. Because I think they would make some really pretty stuff. I have never used it, but I was buying a lot of it at my Mark store in the Dreamweaver brand. I have, I'll show you. It's all over here. Let's turn slightly. So this whole down here needs some solid colors to go with it, I think. And then I can make, like, I thought originally when I bought all the browns over here in the end, and these colors, that I would make cardigans for my daughter and daughter-in-law. I think Amanda would love it. I don't know so much if Mary would. As I'm getting better at the whole cardigan thing. So we'll see. And that yarn won't stretch as much. So I don't know. But it's going to be fun to buy it. I haven't been in a yarn store in probably 2 months or more. So I'm real anxious to just go to the yarn store. They also have Big Twist is supposed to be on sale for $1.99. So I'm going to get some of that because I have a blanket I need to make. And it's going to be mostly red and then white and black. And white and black, I'm not real worried about, but I would like red, like 3 or 4 skeins of red that's all the same red. Because reds, you know, reds can be different colors and still be red. There's lots, like a lot of shades of red. And my original, I've been supposed to be making this blanket for like almost a year now. And I have to have it done for Christmas. I talked about it before. The Van Halen colors of the Van Halen guitar. So the red, black, and white. And I have this pattern for the design to make, like, so I think I'll have to do corner to corner and like make the lines of the Van Halen guitar in it. If you don't know what that looks like, that's okay. It's just an abstract bunch of lines in a red guitar. So anyway, the lines are black and white and the guitar is red. So I think it's going to mostly be red, and so I want like enough of one specific red so that it doesn't look like there's different shades, you know? So anyway, big twist, here we come. They better have it in red. I have several reds here, but like 2 skeins or 1 skein, and the reds are off, so I need enough red. Good excuse to go, right? I just found out today that they're even open. I thought you could only go curbside pickup. So I'm really excited that I can actually go into the store. So now I'm off to yarn shop. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay. You'd think I was drinking already. Haven't touched a sip. Not even a whole cup of coffee. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, have a great day. See you next time. Bye.